And we are back with more Elden Ring. Last time we left off, we're still making our way down the Miquella tree. Beyond that, might do a quick check-in with our good friend Bird Lady to see basically how, if, any summoner things have changed over there. Trying to think of what else I know basically we were going a bit long last time, which is why I had to kind of call it. So I'm trying to remember the full order. I do know I did want to take out this big guy here, because there is an item right in front of them. Which does remind me, though. We know there is, like, ballistae to the left, I believe. Oh, also, we didn't finish reading 2 item descriptions, I believe, that we got last time. Okay, there's no jumping back across to take out the ballistae, sadly. Ooh, but we might be able to take them out from over here. Maybe not. It's fine. I can see them, but to actually shoot from that angle, I would have to be elevated there. But alright. Let's go ahead. Double check things. Yeah, we should double check things first. That way we can kind of give the tree our full attention here. Also, yeah, it sounded like there was some other... According to a comment in the last video, that there is a different entrance to the DLC in this, like, icy area that wasn't, like, going to the Miquella tree itself. Or the Haligtree, I should say. Miquella's Haligtree. So yeah, I wonder if it actually is more the ice fields that we actually haven't come across, or the snow fields. Which I am eyeing suddenly this thing, because that is a structure, not a boulder, it looks like. So I'm going to put a little marker there to remember. But alright, let's quickly check in with our good friend Bird Lady. There we go. Wait, no. Wait. Where's the castle? Here we go. I knew I could find it. I'm going to assume that everything is still same old here. Mainly in that we really haven't done anything to move things forward. I mean, we progressed in the Haligtree, but I don't know at this point what plot device. I mean, my guess is still that she summons a bird, the bird kills everybody, we kill the bird, we get a proper summon, and all 3 of these guys are dead. Because it is a FromSoft game, where there are no happy endings. I think we could check in on Jarfriend, but I think we did that last time. Okay, let's go back to the Haligtree. Back to the Elfale inner wall. Elfale? Elfiel? Alright. Lantern at the ready. I think what we can do is we can probably just I-beam this guy. I don't think the big guy can actually make it through. Well, never mind. Certainly the big guy can't make it through here. Oh, they just straight up teleported back. But they should still retain their damage. Yes, they do. Uh-oh. I figured at least one of those things would get us, but... There we go. One more. Alright, give me treasure. Lord's Rune. Alright, time to take out the ballista mine as well. Alright, more flask. Our goal is whatever it was sitting on, which Maybe not whatever it was sitting on. There was something I remember seeing here previously. Ooh. Okay, I got 2 knights here. What is... Man, we don't have a lot of things that are... Oh, dang it. There we go. Alright, Partisan. Which doesn't remind me, we didn't read basically the Summon Ashes and the Knight's Helm last time, so... First, Partisan, Spear of the Wide Tip. In addition to its thrusting attacks, this highly versatile weapon can be swung to sweep through foes. Unique skill, Impaling Thrust. Haligtree Knight Helm. Helm worn by knights sworn to the Haligtree. Graced by a crown of unalloyed gold. Increases faith. Also, okay, so some more unalloyed gold. We know we need either Miquella or Malenia's unalloyed gold needle, which I do wonder if that's what we gave our friend, because that should get us out of needing to be, I don't want to say a slave to the frenzy, but like, it's all good things to become the Lord of Frenzy, but, you know, we should have the flexibility to not burn the world down if we so choose. If we so choose. And Haligtree Soldier Ashes. Spirits of common soldiers who carry the sacred light. When weakened, they explode to deliver a last-ditch attack. This was a bitter revelation discovered by the desperate soldiers who awaited the return of their lord to the rotted Haligtree. May the flash of our deaths guide Miquella's return. Okay. So even they kind of know, or at least Miquella's return, that in theory Miquella's dead? As we kind of know via Mog. Alright. Gonna chop off here. The big thing is, can we hit this guy without getting hit ourselves by the ballistae? Probably. Go. Point blank unloading. Alright, rotten staff, but yeah, the item right in front of... Ooh, also over here. Okay, sacramental bud. Talk about winning the war, but not the battle, in terms of not really having the mana to try and eye fry these guys. Dang it. And it's gone. Man, not too shocked, only slightly disappointed. Yep, so it's like, I saw them adjust their aim. Alright, Arteria Leaf. Golden Ruin 11. Okay, that's not all the stuff here. And quite frankly, it didn't have the same, like, volley that the ones I think back at Godric's castle had. I kind of expected it to be a bit stronger there. Do wonder kind of what's coming from there. Also, how much is required to level up here? Ooh, okay. Actually can level up here. Let's see. What's up next? Looks like a thing of int. There we go. Flask restored. And let's get the death flare ready, I think. I mean, would they be able to stop us if we just started throwing stuff at them? I don't think Rotted Breath would do the job here. Although it does raise the question of, like, what would do the job in terms of breath spells that we have? I mean, they're crystals, so not sorcery breath. I've actually been meaning to, with all the things being infected by Scarlet Rot here, we should probably swap out Putrid Breath for right now. Alright, remember my spell. Rotten Breath. Ice or fire? I feel like... And both these things are not great. It's like crystals form from, like, you know... usually... like volcanic activity / pressure. But I don't think crystals are known for cracking in the ice, though. I mean, in theory, if like there's any moisture in a crack that exists, then it would kind of like, you know, spread it apart. But not sure if this is gonna work. But we can try. Experimentation is the name of the game. Not as good as it could have been. Stamina. Having a bit of an issue. There we go. Yeah, top off because we're just going to use the restoration point right afterwards. I mean, if we can crack them right here now. Shrink. Yeah, too shallow. Alright, retreat a bit back here. There we go. And then we can wail on them to our heart's content. Ignore the crunching crystal sounds, Crystal Sorcerer Man. that to cool down. Hopefully we'll get some answers on what's up with these guys and what connection do they have to the Scarlet Rot. Work them over for answers. There we go. Now, hopefully this isn't the way forward, because I think that's probably the way forward. But I do want this treasure. Rotten crystal sword. Also. Okay, so no, like, secret thing back here. Let's see. Rotten crystal sword. Sword fashioned from pure crystal. Indeed impossible for a human. It festers with scarlet rot. Enriched with powerful magic. It attacks scales with intelligence. Skill, spinning slash. Alright. I think similar to a... Could have sworn we got a previous rotted crystal weapon before. Alright, rest at Spot of Grace. And alright, let's see here. Anything down this hall? Should probably have weapons at the ready. I feel like Frenzy Flame's probably pretty good because it still counts as fire. Well, what do we have here? Okay, so there's that same kind of like red waterfall that we encountered deep underground. I wonder if these cocoons are going to hatch at some point. Oh, now think about it. I wonder if they're, here they're in 5. I wonder if they're the bug boy. Kindred of Rot. Yeah. As I keep going past him. Yeah, I wonder basically this is how Kindred of Rot are maybe born? Given their human limbs, I thought maybe they were, like, ascended, but... not necessarily the case. Also, the light kind of glancing off there from the other side. It's hard to tell if there's an entrance I didn't see or not. Hey, where in the Haligtree is this? Okay, so it's not exactly visible from the outer walls. Goes seemingly deep underground. We're going to encounter a third unknown city? Or forgotten city? The path is almost a bit too peaceful. Although interesting that these are... boy, white lilies? Oh, hello. That was definitely a bit of a xenomorph moment of... I did not notice him and... like mixed in with the color scheme of the area. So definitely need to keep an eye out. Because for as peaceful as this looks, it might not be as peaceful as it actually is. Okay. For a second I thought this branch was going to be like the staff of a Kindred of Rot, but no. Or I guess there's more like glaives. Oop, there we go. I do get the feeling I'm going to need quite a bit of preserving boluses. We have 10 currently. Yeah, let's make another 10. Should probably get them at the ready. We can probably take off the Mimic's Veil for right now. It's been a while since I've used it. Alright, where are you? Boluses. I think they're upward. Also, it was, yeah. Which we did use that to teleport over, if I recall correctly. And there's some of these other items that we've never actually gotten around to using quite yet. Alright, first, preserving boluses. Alright, make sure it's safe to drop down and that we're not exposing ourselves to another one, but I think it's just the one. There we go. Alright, rock grease. And not too shocking here. Oh boy, I forgot. When you're rolling the goop, you just kind of goop yourself up even more. Alright, similar rules to the Lake of Rot down below. Ah, crap. Oh wait, no, these are... I can't tell if they're like baby Kindred of Rot or Kindred of Rot that aren't like fully out of the water. Okay, looks like they are babies. I get the feeling that my theory was probably correct regarding those, like, cocoons being ooh. Okay, so I guess when they're just chilling, they do headstands? We could probably use one bolus here. Try to buy us some time. Alright. Make it to the next island safely. Ah, crap. Well, so much for that. Okay, looks like that's the next stop. In a way, a bit of a way to kind of get around quickly and kill these guys. Alright. I missed out on gathering material there, but... Alright, drop. Bolus. Heal. Okay. No babies are following. It's like some of these plants are a bit hard to tell from a distance if they're tiny babies or not. I don't know why I'm risking this, but I am. Ionian butterfly. I mean, very obvious that it was, but still, it's like, you never know. Butterflies, maybe sometimes secrets. And regular, non-collectible butterflies. I wonder if treasure up here, or just way to go back down. There we go. Not seeing any treasure, though. Did we really just get lucky and dodge that one down there? It's kind of, doing handstands? Yeah, I guess so. Interesting. This entire place, pretty interesting. Like, kind of curious what the exact story is here. Alright, ladder going down. Alright, gold rune 10. I don't necessarily trust these walls are actually there. Alright, I guess they are. I thought this water would be, I mean, it's like flowing from the same area that the scarlet water is flowing from, but I guess it's different. Make sure we don't take for granted something dropping from above. I mean, target lock says there's nothing. But, yeah, some of these branches do look like the tail of Kindred of Rot. Ooh, here we go. Lost Grace discovered. The drainage channel. Okay. But does this go further down, or are we outside of the castle now? I'm just a bit curious. If we go back, like... I mean, it could be that this path does wrap back around and it goes back to the center, but I wonder if there was a branch that we missed where one goes down and one goes back to the outer walls. And all the falls looked like they were lethal. Even if one wants to be very generous. I'm not really seeing any safe point here. Alright, I guess Strange Channel is the one and only. Alright, go down. Once we're back outside, take a bit of a look around, because it looked like the path just goes immediately to the left, but I do wonder if there's like some way to get slightly back up to get some secrets that were kind of in an in-between area. Like, also trying to just get a vibe of where we were previously. And I guess technically previously we were... Okay, so yeah, all of that was above us then, so we've gone down. Ah, yeah, and I think basically there's like one of the doors that we took before. Okay. We kind of went into the wall, kind of went... Wait. We went we went clockwise to us previously when we first got here, going counterclockwise. There we go. Not a fan of all these blind spots as you turn corners. I know what they like to do. Okay. A bit of a branch here. Bump, get it? It's a bit of a branch. But quite literally a bit of a branch in that we can go either that way or we can go this way. Might not actually be a branch though, given... Can we... Okay, yeah, there's no, like, jump to safety. And not really seeing any secret to the pillar itself, so okay. So, the branch is actually the way to go. Bump. Go across. Okay, well, ain't that suspicious. And obviously they want us to drop down, but... What do we got over here? And also, shields at the ready, just in case. And it keeps going. To a certain point. I don't like that. It's just like... It seems jumpable, and obviously it branches... Wait, did my eyes changed again? Why am I half holy now, half frenzy? Where am I getting this white eye from now? Huh. Trying to double check runes. I mean... We would just be going back to the spawn with no enemies in between. The danger is if we were to fall. Oh. Hello, Kindred. Actually, in hindsight, I could have totally just drank from my flask there. But that would mean if we encountered, like, trouble elsewhere, then we wouldn't have it. Kind of the name of the game. Get from spot of grace to spot of grace. But okay, pretty straightforward. It's nice to be able to see things a bit more in the daylight here. We should still turn on the torch just in case. Interesting that so much of it is kind of a mixture of red and white. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense, because yeah, those types of like mushroom growth are literally white compared to red. That was kind of Khalid's main color scheme. Just what is the deal with the Scarlet Rot, though? And how much of it connects back to the Shaded Castle, and... Or the Shaded Castle may be descended from people who were, like, born and raised in the Haligtree? Many, many questions. Okay. No matter what, that's going to be a tricky jump. Phew. Like we could go even further. We could jump across to there. And then see if that tower has any secrets, because I see a ladder. But I'm also curious where this path goes. Someone sitting at a grave with a torch. Okay. Making sure that if we encounter any spot of no return, we know what's up. But okay, seems it wants us to go this way. Ooh, and you can actually get inside that building there too. All the secrets. Okay, is there anything? I see what you want me to do. So we can fall down safely here. It looks like it eventually goes back to where we kind of were before. You know what? Sure. Let's see if there's not any secret that we would have seen item elsewhere. I mean, sadly, I'm not seeing any. You know, in hindsight, maybe a bit of a mistake on my part. But we can maybe jump across here. Dang it. Kind of want to go back. I know. Now we're already in combat. We got spotted. Okay, those are multiple knights just kind of sitting and chilling. Man, yes, it doesn't hurt to go down here. I'm a bit curious, like, did the building we just came from connect? No. Okay, we have a knight there. There we go. Just give him the old work over. Wailing them. Alright. In the clear. Miquella's Lily. Wait, I'm more intrigued about going that way, but... Again, I'm kind of curious if the... Okay, so structure is open from this side. Charging attack. There we go. Burn the filth. So are the bodies in the graveyard like being resurrected as Kindred of Rot? Yeah, saw that coming. Yeah. Now That said, I noticed that's the ladder that we saw earlier, so looks like it's all just kind of connected. I mean, there's a reason that Kindred of Rot is basically one of my summons this day and age. It's like, bug boys are pretty good at dodging stuff. And the little web missiles are both simultaneously neat and useful. Like, I want to get my ruins back, but I do want to check out that hole in the roof of the building over there. So, big question is, can we safely get back without aggroing that knight that we saw and beat up? Okay, I think we can. Yeah, this should work. Oh, yeah. Losing daylight here. Alright. Charge. Alright, there's that one from earlier. So it does remind me a bit. Was there any things? You know, we could probably swap that out for getting health back on crit. Gonna turn your back at any point in time. Dang it. There we go. Alright, mission successful there. Seeing at least 5 different Kindred of Rot. I think long range might be best range. Let's see, how much did this fry them up? Dang it. What the? They didn't, like, spawn babies or something, did they? No, okay, I think those babies were there before. Yeah, drink. There we go. You know, I should probably have the spear, just in case. Alright, see if we can't leave the babies alone for a bit. Okay, so there is 6 Kindred of Rot. Oopsie. There we go. Alright, time to take care of the babies. Cool. Alright, the others have not been alerted yet. Okay, I thought I heard additional footsteps, but I think in the end it was just me. Okay, baby. Okay. That's a biggin. Oh, right there. Alright, get them all lined up. 1 I-beam. 2. There we go. It's time to get the one that they're, like, doing daily serving to. Oh, actually, no, there's the other adult. Thankfully, they see nothing wrong with being eye-beamed. It doesn't trigger their run at the source of that instinct. Alright, now we can take out the adult. Or the bigger, more seemingly important adult. There we go. Alright. Now I did see... Yeah, there's the other adult. Yeah, that's a dead body that we took care of before. Okay, those are 3 babies. Alright, now only the 1 baby. Going back. Pesclave. Okay, we got 2 babies. Did that alert the big guy? No, it did not. Ooh. Okay. Two big guys. How much more? Okay, we got quite a few. Alright. 1 eye beam out of 3. 2 out of 3. There we go. Then, trying to figure out the angle I want to take for that other one. Alright, Ghost Glove War 8. Newman's Ruin. Alright, 1, and I see another adult. This place is downright infested. Okay. After this one, that should be all of them, so I'm okay drinking a bit of mana here. Alright, 1. A 2. There we go. Anything over here? Seemingly not. We'll have to kind of check that way a bit after we pillage what we can over here. Let's get Shield and Spear at the ready again. Just in case we miscounted and there's actually another one. Ghost Glove Wart Pickers Bell Bearing 3. Nice. Alright, Ghost Glove Wart 9. Okay, nothing down there. Over here. Still see nothing. Okay. So it seems that was the most important thing, which, I mean, access to infinite upgrade material is definitely important, so I'm glad to see that. Okay, I'm not seeing any secret over here. So, just in case. Alright, we're looking on runes. Yeah, I should maybe teleport back to the drainage channel. Though I am a bit curious about that ladder first. Always when it's like, one more thing, it just seems like famous last words. One last thing before retirement. One last thing before the big day. What could go wrong? How could fate possibly change from this one tiny, seemingly insignificant action? Alright, up we go. And that's where we fell down before. Yeah, we fell down from up over here. So yeah, this seems to be that one ladder that we saw from a distance. Don't see any treasures or enemies on the outer walls, which imply you can't really get over there for exploration. I mean, thankfully, not having to jump. Oh. So this is a little fall down area too. I mean, sure. I didn't see any treasure going up, but maybe there is. And obviously there's this like lower, what are these things called? Buttresses? But I don't know if the intention is to allow jumping onto the church roof, or the intention is to go onto the other buttress. Like, let's bust out the telescope here real quick. Okay, so that's not like a darkened entrance to a hallway or something. Yeah, let's go back to the drainage channel. We have runes to dump after all. Alright, level up. Boom, arcane at 19. Which, with some of this new arcane stuff that we have, that should open up some miracles that were previously not usable. So maybe swap out one of the breaths for... Yeah, do we want Swarm of Flies, or do we want Blood Flame Talons? And also just taking a look at any other one. Obviously there was intelligence miracles as well, such as the Laws of Regression. Which... Wait, where was that category? There we go. Okay, so we have Discus of Light, which is 13 int. 31 for Radagon's Rings of Light. Hey, we finally have that Litany of Proper Death. Creates images of order to deal holy damage. I was curious about that one. And alleviates death buildup. Order Blade. One away from being able to enchant Shield. Which wouldn't be the worst thing to have. Okay, so Causality and Regression, though, are definitely way further than we can probably ever realistically see. Yeah, not seeing any obvious int ones. Oh, I forgot that Blood Flame required 10 arcane, but we had that from the get-go. Did any other ones? I mean, I guess the Dragon Breath did, so... In theory, if we go back also to the Dragon Chapel, we can afford something there. Blood Flame Talons or Swarm of Flies? I mean, we're kind of good on projectiles, which is why I'm a bit curious about the Blood Flame Talons. I do wonder how viable that actually is. Let's compare it to Swarm of Flies here. Oh yeah, I forgot that it actually leaves a lingering damage over time effect over there. And normally I'd be like, you know, well, whichever one has the higher arcane cost is probably the better one, but one requires more faith and less arcane, and one requires more arcane and less faith. So they're kind of equal. But we'll go with Blood Flame Talons. Let's see if it's not maybe viable to have as a sort of like casting shorthand type thing. Also, did we have one that make incantations cheaper? Similar to how we have like ashes made cheaper? Okay, that's restoring FP. I'd figure it would be in the same category as, yeah, this one. That's charge stuff, which... I mean, technically our I-Beam is a charge spell. Making that more enhanced would be pretty cool. That's potency of incantations and sorceries, but do we have one that makes them cheaper? At the cost of maximum HP. It's like, I don't know about at the cost of health, given our health is not Not always the best right now. It's like we could try it. Because I wonder how significant of a difference it is. Although, yeah, I mean, it's nearly... Yeah, it's like 150 minus HP. So it would have to be pretty significant to kind of justify itself. But hey, experimentation. Now think about it, experimentation as I've just put in a spell that basically requires melee range where I'm at the most, like, risk. But should be fine, should be fine. Okay, so this is the proper one. For a second I thought I made a mistake, and I was like, oh crap. But okay, we're good there. Yeah, 27,000 runes, not 270. And yeah, if I want to get up to the roof... Drop. Let's get the lantern back on. Here we go. Easy access to that hole. Ouch. Well, so much for coming in unnoticed. And quite a few, too. There we are. One baby down. Ouch. Two baby down. Big guy gave up his high ground. The high ground that was lower than us, but higher than where we would have been had we dropped into the church. You know, given that we have reduced HP, this guy's hit hard. Capping off with a precaution. Or precaution. Ionic Butterfly, and what are you guys guarding? Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. Enormously boosts physical damage negation. Legendary Talisman of Wrought Iron depicting a massive ancient dragon. Enormously boosts physical damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erdtree would protect their lord. Okay, so that's the same as all the other dragon ones. Huh. It's only 0.8. Like, to what degree does it negate physical damage? Because that's maybe tempting. Dang it. Come on, shoot straight down. Oh, okay. So can't seemingly shoot straight down. Who can't we snipe from up here? Alright. I see how it's gonna be. The fact that it hits me, but I can't hit him. Smart little bugger. There we go. And the big question is going to be, are they going to counter with their own barrage? I wonder, is this one-hit kill on the tiny guys? No. I do feel like I could probably graduate out Pike at some point, given we use spells more for our range options this day and age. Yeah, I think top off, because I also still not sure if the church is the end all be all here, in terms of where we're going. Clever. There we go. Alright, is that... Wait, no, that... We know that's not all of them, because we know there's a balcony area with one. Alright, gonna roll the dice here, jump on down. Of course, looking into the church, not away. There we go. I figured I should get both of them. Alright, Ionian Butterfly. Make me work all that for something that's pretty eh. But okay, seeing nothing else. Now the question is this Golden Path or was the other way Golden Path? Oh, well. Elevators tend to be pretty Golden Path. We can get to a spot of grace. Might take that chance to, Okay, cool. Did they basically check out the other avenue? Alright. Well, ain't that something in there? And a boss door right there. The Haligtree roots. But okay, first we go back to the drainage channel. Because now we're going to go downhill where all the soldiers were. Like, I think with the soldiers we can maybe try to... I don't know how I feel about basically the cheaper stuff. I'll admit the lower health has me a bit worried with how hard these guys hit. I mean, we could try that one thing we just picked up. See how much damage negation actually has for physical damage. Like, we can see basically if it's going to be, like, really noticeable, or maybe it's just like, oh, you know, from we barely survive to we barely survive plus an extra sliver of health. And if it's noticeable, it can kind of make up for our armor being relatively light. Alright, so drop down over here. And should probably have the lantern on just in case. Gonna be curious how effective the claws are gonna be. To experiment on this guy. Ooh, wait. Is that another? Is that a standard knight or is that another like knight? Okay, that's kind of your mid rank. I guess we can leave them be. And that is assuming someone doesn't play a horn and bring down the armies on us. Okay. Like one major knight and two minor middle tier knights. Good sir, if you want to fight, let's do this. Out of it. Slightly unimpressed. I mean, I guess it wasn't horrible. Dang it. Uh-oh. You know, fair enough, fair enough. Dang it. There we go. Okay, good. There we are. Haligtree Knight Armor. Not too happy with how much health we used, but I was a bit concerned about being pushed back into a group of another, like, unknown soldier, so always best to have, like, health cap there. There we go. Alright, Miquella's Lily, Lord Thorn Bolt. Okay, the other knight has not been alerted. Alright, Hero Throne 5. Really nothing much else this way. Not seeing anything. And plenty of Miquella's Lilies. There we go. Okay, so they were kind of guarding another path downward, it seems. Alright, Haligtree Knight Greaves. Okay, I think that's a mid-tier knight looking at a grave. Alright, further and further we go. Oh, I see an archer. Don't mind all the resources disappearing like that. Where my I-beam's at. There we go. Now, will any of that get him to come on down? And when for a non-charged app, then it's at full heal. Oof. How my eyes doing? Okay. Both back to yellow now. Kind of curious here. Is there anything? There might not be any reason to really fight this guy. Yeah, part of me is just like, so it looks like he could have like fallen to get over there, which I'm kind of tempted to do. Then we can just kind of up close and personal give combat. And see if there's any treasure on like the little plateau that he's on. Good, no big knight over here. There we go. Oh. Yeah, don't see much up here. I do wonder if we're gonna go like down below before the boss door, and our friend with the prosthetic arm's gonna be there being like, hey, can you go visit the graveyard? I need you to go to this, and this location. Not that this game tends to have quests like that, but it's like, you know, it could be framed as being like, I'm going to be there. Hopefully you'll be there too. Alright, Haligtree gauntlets. Yeah, but then nothing here. A bit strange that there's no like additional treasure. It's just knights, and more knights. Maybe we got basically the ruin at the one, like, very bottom, but I figured it'd be something similar to the Ghost Glove Picker Bell, in terms of, like, something with a bit more proper use. Whether that be a piece of armor, a unique weapon, just something. My ghost friend really didn't seem to mind at all. Alright, yeah, nothing up here. How very strange that this entire path would have nothing. No side paths. I gotta pause briefly saying that because in my head I'm like, well actually... So I pick up the item on that one balcony up there, right? I was looking, I'm not seeing it, but I'm pretty certain I did. But yeah, the only reason I'm suspicious of the graveyard, though, is I think of the graveyard in Khalid that had that one secret wall near it. Which is why, like, I keep on getting vibes like there should be a secret around here, but nothing obvious. And yeah, even this kind of terminates in a dead end. It's alright. To the Haligtree roots. I imagine that through that door down there, it's probably either Malenia or... I mean, as much as I want to say, Miquella's not there, she's dead. Obviously that wasn't the case with Mog. Maybe illusionary Mog that was guarding the Three Fingers was fake, but the real Mog was guarding a fake Miquella. So it's like layers of deception here. And then real Miquella maybe it's like in the DLC. Not gonna go through the door, I'm just kind of taking a look to see if there's like a summon sign or something, but I don't see anything. We are, yep. Since we teleported, we are capped off. Good, good. And obviously the flower in the next room is certainly something. I mean, it does remind me of the flower that I think it was Malenia made in the, like... I know I was sent kind of a pre-game release, or maybe at game launch trailer to watch, being like, here's some more context. And, like, Radon and what seemingly was Malenia were, like, fighting, and then Malenia turned into something like this. Traveler's clothes, manchettes, and boots. I'm not liking that. I don't like that. Where's my friend? Why is my friend's clothes here? Light yet sturdy clothes, worn by young fates who set off into the world to confront their fate. Friend, where are you? You didn't become a flower, did you? Ideally, not because of something that I did. I kind of need an unalloyed gold needle, friend, and I kind of get the vibe that you're important to that quest, given I had to give you a needle to help you out. Up or down? Alright. That actually does remind me, I did want to check out the entrance to Elfale again, given that we kind of took a side path to get in here. Which, now I'm all the more being like, because we took the side path, is that what happened? Or maybe there are multiple versions of, like, people like my friend, and they turn into flowers, but not my friend? Wait a minute. I hear jingling. Okay, I know where we are. We've been here before. Yeah. Okay, so that's the elevator that wasn't working previously. So, obviously know their way to get in here. I'm very curious if this was my friend or not, and if that's a bad thing or not. Alright. I'm going to assume that I'll be fighting Malenia here, and that hopefully friend had something to do with it all. If not, I don't know where that gold needle we gave her is, which, maybe the world's fated to burn after all. Okay, can't level up. I think spell-wise... Storm of Flies might be better. Do I want to keep the Dragon Crest Talisman? I don't know. I mean, we got hit pretty hard by the bugs. But I don't know how much work it's actually doing, as it were. And recovery speed's always nice. I do wish there was something with this spells consume less FP without the drawback. Because you think it can't be that, like, too OP, given that we have the same thing for, skills. I mean, this would be pretty good for our I-beams. We do charge up a lot. We don't charge up everything. I wonder if Roar and Breath also includes the Shibiri Scream spell or not. What is the damage taken from critical hits? No. Poise, magic attack. I could just have raise the potency of incantations. Raise an attack power after critical hit. That's us doing the critical hit, not the other way around. It's like any of the ones that are like, it does this, but you take more damage. It's like, then no. Just, how about no? Yeah, you know what? Boy, I can't remember what we had here before. Oh yeah, it was the unsuccessive attacks. Which is good for fisticuffs, but I think at this point, raise the potency of incantations might be for the better. Although double checking all these, because the talismans are also pretty cool. Guard counters, final hit change, charge attacks, crit hits. I do admit the crit hits is pretty cool. But yeah, think incantations for... I was gonna say for right now, but I'm like, ooh, but I forgot that the thingamacall that we have it, the Black Eclipse Shotel, like, it definitely kind of causes stagger quite easily, which leads into critical hits, which crit hits are nice. We do love getting a good crit hit off. I guess that's the big thing. It's like, I think incantations is the smarter choice. Alright. It's like Shotel or Frenzy. Well, we just put incantation, so like maybe burst when we can, where we can. That would, where we can. There we go. Black Knife or Mimic. Well, we're gonna go with Black Knife because we don't know how quickly we're kind of hit from a distance here. Because if we get Sucker Punch right at the beginning via ranged attack, we don't see it coming. Mimic is basically an instant death sentence. I imagine a cutscene. Friend? Or Malenia? Looks like Malenia.
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited his return. Heed my words. I am Malenia, Blade of Miquella. And I have never known defeat.
I imagine it's pretty cool, Simon. Yeah, can't say I'm too surprised there. Yep, we're about to die. There we go. You want to do something, Blade, rather than just dodging? There we go. So far, so good. Ooh, dodged both of our attacks there. Or nope, she didn't dodge the black knife. I'm expecting a phase 2, given this is suspiciously too easy. Here it comes. Phase 2.
Wait. The scarlet bloom flowers once more. You will witness true horror. Now, rot.
Very cool. Like the hair, flower, butterfly motif. Trust these flower clones. Oh. Yep, and our black dagger is gone.
Let your flesh be consumed by the scarlet rot.
And okay, so was our rune thing in effect still? I think I would be a bit more aggressive in phase 1. We could have basically worked a lot better with our black dagger. I am also a bit curious basically on how the mimic tier is going to work. So it's I mean, I kind of want to try the shuttle. Dang it. Definitely not as good. Okay, so I wasn't really able to stagger her with that. I was a bit curious, though. I'm noticing a lot of her like health still here in phase 1. I'm kind of tempted just to die to basically get summoned back here. Okay, so Black Knife, for right now, definitely better than our good old friend, us. All right, let's see here. Still curious if I did something wrong with our friend, given I kind of want to go back to... Actually, wait. Okay, we still have our runes, right? Alright. Real quick. We're going to go back all the way here. Back down to Khalid again. We're going to go see Sage Gowry. Maybe he might know something about this. Or at the very least, he'll be able to tell us off being like, you let her do what? Now she's going to be a giant flower forever. I mean, it could be that maybe, like, that's why Malenia is awake? She didn't imply that she's just waking up, which might not be because of us, but maybe because of our friend. Alright, gotta make sure I don't trigger big old dog. Hello, friend.
Ah, welcome, welcome. How may I help?
I gave Millicent the processes. Yeah, I did.
So, you gave Millicent a golden arm replacement. This is a wonderful development. Thank you for your kindness. Now, Millicent may fully realize her true warrior's potential, like her beautiful mother.
Okay, about Millicent.
The girl, Millicent, she is a bird. Green and undeveloped, waiting to flower into magnificence. What a wondrous day that will be. In truth, before her, I'd never seen a bud of such superior quality. She might very well outshine her sisters.
What Millicent said.
Oh, Millicent. Finding herself, is she? The words of a true innocent, the dear girl. Well, perhaps this is just as it should be. Little Millicent following in the steps of her mother, no matter what. This is their fate, after all.
Oh, pest threads. I can actually learn it. Nice. I can shoot my own missiles now.
Do you have an interest in rot incantations?
Yes.
Then you might like to learn something of the history of Malenia, goddess of scarlet rot.
I would like to learn.
Queen Marika and her king consort Radagon were blessed with twin demigods, and Malenia was one of them. She was born an Empyrean carrying the scarlet rot. An Empyrean is no mere demigod. In the age of the Elden Ring and Queen Marika, the precious Empyrean was born, a new god to forge a new order. Since Malenia fought Radahn, and the great scarlet flower blossomed in Aeonia, I have dedicated myself to her, and to the resplendence of the Order of Rot, the cycle of decay and rebirth.
Okay, got Desperate Prayer. Okay, there's no, like, rot sorceries. Dang, and no more of these. Incantation of the Servants of Rot secretes countless sticky threads, launching them forward. A technique of the pale pests who crawl through the lands afflicted by scarlet rot. They abandon children of the goddess. Do you have an interest in rock incantations?
Do you need me for something else?
So, our friend's a flower now, and I don't know what to do about that. But alright. Back to the Haligtree. Oh, now it says she's here. Wait. So with flower, not her? Friend, you're not a flower. Thank goodness.
There is something I must return to Malenia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self. That allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot.
Oh man. I know where she is.
There is something of the will that was the dignity.
Okay. So maybe it's returned to her after I defeat her? I mean, I'm glad that friend is not a giant flower. That's the most important part. But that implies then, so yeah, when he was saying basically like her sister, so yeah, that was one of her, like, fellow buds that maybe, like, came this far and then turned into a flower. Yeah, shame there's, like, no way to get her to come down here and help us. I really thought she'd be a golden summoning sign or something. Now that said, let's go ahead... What can we swap out for the web threads? It's like, one day, I feel like I'm probably going to use this. But I haven't used it so far. I mean, part of it is because I keep forgetting I have it. Yeah, let's replace it for right now. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have basically also the one sorcery there. I do kind of feel like I should have like a sorcery catalyst too, but then we need even more space for casting stuff. Here we go. Alright, so yeah, definitely Black Knife. I do wonder how the other spells would stack up. We can try Pest Threads first and foremost. They seem pretty short range, but they cast pretty quickly. I do kind of like these being very slow homing things. It was hard to tell when that skill was going to end. Now, that said, I think there is still better luck just eye-beaming her, at least for this first phase. I don't know if she heals in the second phase at all. Where's my eye-beam set? Here we go. Alright, need to remember the order of operations here. Mana, and then summon. Or not mana, the special flask. There we go. Alright, can't. Need line of sight here. There we go. Okay, both got her. Yeah, I think basically we try to go to the center of the room to get basically, you know, no awkward corners there. I feel like there has to be some good way to kind of buy our Black Dagger time to kind of like land hits. Also a bit tempted basically to be just throwing some Black Flame out myself. I do wonder what's better, incantations ones or charge spells. I guess we were hitting for about 500 with Charge Frenzy Eyes, so we can try to compare here. Alright, 658. Alright, yeah, definitely an upgrade there. There we go. And just keep the attention on us. As much as that's a slightly scary prospect. Okay, she's gonna do her crazy whirligig. So I guess keep her attention divided. Honestly, I feel like I should have kept running. I don't quite have it down yet when the attack actually ends. Oh yeah, so it's like, why is there runes slightly short? I'm like, oh yeah, because I bought the web thread. Which I do like how quickly it comes out, but yeah, the damage was not exactly super great. Boom. Keep the eye blade, or eye beam on. Alright, make our way over to the center of the room. Man, that shit, even basically, like, on block will still heal off of it. Okay, I couldn't quite tell which one of us she was going after there. I didn't want to be caught with my proverbial pants down mid-cast. Yeah. Mid-cast. I doubt it. But I'm like, would she stun lock at all if I were to do the outpouring? I mean, I guess I could try also basically doing a Howl of Shabiri into I-beam shenanigans. It's on me. Man, she's just starting off with that attack. But the Howl did seem to basically be keeping aggro a bit more on me. Which is good, because that's kind of what I'm keeping it around for. Alright. Go back to Hal. Basically, we're trying to get the frenzy aura on. We need to at least get one hit off to kind of like grab her initial attention. There we go. For better or for worse, we have her attention. Now we just need some distance here. I feel like there was a brief window opportunity for me to like have not been casting then. Alright, gonna do something real quick and stupid here. Like, I want to see how much unendurable frenzy can kind of do on her if we just kind of get up behind her. Not too bad, though it did take a lot of mana. And now we're mad. Yeah. It's not too bad. I was hoping that would kind of like knock her out of it, but sadly no. Yeah, so it seems that I-beams, mostly strategically placed, is still the best bet. Now, I mean, there is still one thing we can do. We can do old faithful here, good old Spectral Lance. Will you end up being just overpowered like you tend to be? I mean, most of the modern day bosses not as much because they'll like properly dodge, but sometimes. I want to see like how many hits to stagger with her. Yeah, she really doesn't want to stagger with this. And here comes. So it definitely seems there is a bit of a method to the proverbial madness there. There's basically Storm 1, pause. Storm 2, pause, which is briefer, and then Storm 3. I'm a bit curious, what if we just fight her the old-fashioned way? Which I'm a bit concerned about given her whole lifesteal thing going on, but... and it is a pretty powerful weapon that we have. It really seems like I-beams are probably the best bet. The big thing is I want to try and preserve Black Dagger as much as possible until Phase 2, since that was basically a big thing the first time, of like, having Malenia do her little whirlwind was definitely not too great on our poor friend there. Alright, drink. Summon. Gotta just actually land one or two now. Alright, not at that range. Yeah, we should definitely fight in more center of room. The big thing's gonna be how to dodge her Blade Storm. Because I don't want the Black Dagger hit by the Blade Storm, since like that took like, boy, most of the health last time for the Black Dagger going into Phase 2. But me not serving at all is not the best bet. Huh. Do the blood flies not actually take any mana until they start actually hitting? Interesting. Go. And Screen Chief's taking basically bleed procs now and then. Yeah, there we go. She does not like it though. I'm a bit curious here. Of our current things. I mean, we're not really getting crits on her. So what we could do is combine Incantation Potency with Charging Spell Potency. Then back to good old reliable Optic Blast. Still a bit surprised that we can't summon Friend. Really would have thought there would be like a golden summoning sign here. But hopefully she shows up after the fact. Alright, get her a bit distracted here. Okay. Yep, that's bad. Yeah, man, her life steal is definitely insane. Yeah, but that's us trying basically the Bloodfly thing before. I mean, we could try some Blackfire, because it's also an incantation, it's also charged, and it used to be our go-to. The reason I'm slightly hesitant about it is because it requires a bit of more mid-range going on, so it's a lot easier dodged. But I mean, she's still dodging the I-beams on pretty reliable occasion. health is just like fluctuating so much. The Black Knife with basically life drain there. It is an interesting puzzle to solve. I also do like how basically I got to phase 2 right away. I don't know how much of a success that was because that was Black Knife tanking a lot, and we're gonna need a bit of like some support for phase 2. In theory. It's like we could try good old fisticuffs. You know what? Why not? Maybe we're gonna do one goof off around here. Yeah.
Blade of Miquella.
Yeah, I think trying to use Haligtree to keep aggro. And then some plan. That plan might be Thermoflies. Alright, let's see here. Go back to this, back to that. The problem is that Hal takes a bit to get off. There we go. Actually, shouldn't be able to ignore these. Though we should maybe hang out at the door. Alright, that's all the flies. Try to keep her as stun locked for as long as possible. All the flies. Thank God, she's on the ground, which basically means that the swarm of flies start crowding up quickly. Oof. Go. Excellent. All right. I remember surviving that a lot better the first time, but I wonder if that's because I had the shield at the ready. I remember also basically that was kind of what did in the Black Knife for the most part there, but he actually did quite well in that time. It's like, came close to having it. I mean, it definitely seems like a doable fight, which is nice. Go. Yeah. I know I shouldn't fight there in at the doorway. I really gotta get better at doing that. Alright, let's go. But yeah, Swarm of Flies, Stun Lock in the first phase. Has to be careful with that second phase, given that explosion. Alright, then at least send out one Swarm of Flies, maybe two, to try and get her attention over to us. I didn't see that one coming. There we go. Stop her from healing. There we go. Whew. Yeah. Okay, got a bit overly confident there with her staring at me. Should have been a bit more cautious there. I'm trying to think if there's any way we could make the bleed effect a bit more... Actually... Boy, swapping out all the things here. But we have some of those things where, like, when person is, yeah, poisoning or rot. Now, the question is this, like, everything attack power? Because, yeah, I mean... Can this maybe give us a whole lot of additional attack? Tension so far is being maintained on us for the most part, which is good. Good, we can actually dodge it, that is. Okay, now attacking poor Black Knife. Yeah. The moment I started basically just backing up like that. That said, I didn't really notice... Yeah, I didn't really notice like any attack buff triggering, though. From blood loss happening, so I wonder maybe if it... doesn't count as blood loss? I think it would. And it might be still, technically, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, because it could be that it's because of it's a spell, so... It's like, too bad there's no swarm attacks more. I don't know, maximum HP being reduced here. We're already barely hanging in there. Excessive attacks, I still wonder if that's only melee. I think it is, because I think I remember asking that originally when it kind of came up. But the big question is, like, what damage type does it even count as? Totally could roll the dice there, but I don't think that's gonna be the key. Yeah, I really wish I knew basically if attack power is spell power at the same point. Because that kind of makes a big difference. Okay, you know what? Gonna roll the dice. This might be a horrible, horrible idea, but more fly spam is not the worst thing. I mean, already, if, like, the big thing is if we're caught, we're dead, so it's kind of, you know, all or nothing. Alright, try to get her pinned there. Knife, and boy, that healing she has. Okay, she's staring at us now. Man, just watching that health ping pong back and forth on her. That is some insane levels of healing. I'm trying to think if there's any anti-heal stuff, but I don't think there is. But I might be overlooking it because maybe it's only for multiplayer. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other potential good ways here. Alright. We're gonna go back to Screaming first. I think we might have her attention pretty soon. Yeah. Okay, good. Flies are getting her attention. Uh-oh. Crap. Dance of death on our poor dagger. Yay for flies! Okay, good. A little bit premature on my part there, but... Black Knife's down. Yep, I knew basically had to turn around at some point there, but with the Black Knife dead, it's kind of like, I mean, there's almost a temptation to save the summon for phase 2. And just kind of like battle of attrition for phase 1, but I don't think that's the best of ideas. I thought basically I was getting away with, like, the spacing there, but no. Heck, yet again, I kind of wonder about, anti-heal stuff. Alright, we can do it. Probably. Maybe. Potentially. Time to slowly start letting the flies out. It's very nice that they don't really seem to take the FB until they actually connect. Swarm. Okay, good. Uh-oh. Black Knife don't give her much of a chance here. Oh, I thought maybe she had switched mine over to Black Knife, so I started prepping another swarm. And now I am a bit curious. How much does our Black Knife do to her? I imagine it's not that much. I imagine it's not worth it, but I'm curious. Where's our Black Knife? Anyway, here we go. +4. Yeah, it's like we could give it the old try. No shield, though, is certainly a choice, especially with to make sure we bust out the shield at least for phase 2. I mean, shocking, I know. Not as effective as our Black Knife. I mean, I wonder if our Black Knife ever gets as... crap. That moment when you know you're kind of screwed. Alright. don't think the Black Knife was all that great for offhand purposes. Here's our pike. I feel like, do we pass it? Here we go. Put that back, lest I forget. And we still have that one, but should be okay. Whoa, wrong one. Yeah, I think the occasional run, drop some swarms. Go swarms. Alright. Just in case. Alright, run! Whew. Stop picking on Black Knife. Crap. That was quite a few in a row. Not too bad, though. Definitely drop a few flies, keep moving, try and, buy time for... Actually. Yeah. Buy time. Constantly attracts enemy aggression. Yeah, there's a few times there that basically she was getting some health off of Black Knife. I want to avoid that. We have our attention. Not a big fan of where we are. Maybe too much attention right now. Good. Okay. Get some distance. Good. Less good. Yep. I was having a bit of a hard time breathing, but that said, Black Knife wasn't landing some of his attacks either. We're definitely keeping an eye on the time as well. Part of me is like, do I do an edit cut? She doesn't seem that bad. We have fought way worse, and this is kind of practice for the DLC in the end. Which I could see being argument for doing an edit cut. It's kind of being like, well, if she's not that bad, then basically after I do an edit cut, I say Black Knife, you wanted to do anything? There we go. You know what they say, Malenia. Flies are attracted to the scent of rot. Leading a little trail of flies here. There we go. Should have kept my shield up. Oh yeah, she still has lifesteal in the second phase. I was thinking that maybe like, oh, maybe in phase 2 she doesn't, because you know she exchanges the lifesteal for the rot itself, but no such luck. All right, drink. I was really hoping that the Black Knife's ability was going to connect there, but alas. Okay. 2 swarms. I always keep some flies going. Make this or not. I bet this one should be a bit safer. Yeah, sadly she's gonna get some life off a Black Knife here. Okay, but she should follow the scent of flies. There we go. There. Somewhat good. Alright, we have our attention again. It's bad. And the fact that that lunge, like, you kind of have to dodge it, otherwise she gets the life drain. Oh. Oof, yeah, and that's just that lethal hit there. Eyeing time, but we're still within acceptable parameters. The one thing I wonder about, though, is this one. I don't know if losing out on the health is really worth it. Which one is just raises... Here we are. Greatly raises maximum HP. You know what? Sure. Go in the opposite direction. I just hope I don't run out of mana, though. Die Flask? Should be okay. Hopefully. No matter what, it's a battle of attrition with her health gain. Either gonna have it, or you're not gonna have it. Oh. My runes are not on my personage. I think it's because the last one just like went that long, maybe. Alright. Give her undivided attention. Knife. I'll try and provide what cover I can with the flies. Crap. Okay, back to it. Drop a fly. Drop two. Alright, going after Black Knife. It's like, I think that's going after me. Still trying to think of the most effective way to get Black Knight some cover. And just windows of opportunity, really. No healing off of him. Follow the flies. Man, the problem is, like, the moment he gets her attention, she's just like... There we go. Good old blood loss. Really feels like I should fight the old-fashioned way here. Man, even with the increased health pool, like that hit is still an instant kill. It was pretty telegraphed, but it's kind of easy to panic in the moment. I do wonder. Oh no, my runes aren't on me anymore. We're actually going to try and fighting her, quote unquote, normally. Whoa. Finally got hit by that move, and yeah, makes sense, instant kill. That's it. I mean, that's always the dangers of being in melee range. There we go. At least basically our runes are back on us from the get-go here. And glancing at time. Do I need to think of an exit plan here? I know, sadly, I can't really go long even if I were to do an edit cut. There we go. I was trying to stay still so she would fall for that. Yeah, this is that's game over right there. The jumping up in the air. That said, it wasn't as bad as I kind of thought it might be. I mean, we did get her to stagger, but boy, she does not stay a stagger too long. Come on out, Black Knife. I'll stay still and hope that distracts her. Cool. Additional crap, but you know, it's fine. Black Knife, how you doing? Stamina back. Uh-oh. Yeah, just the fact that it's just like drop your guard briefly and it just oof. But again, it feels doable. Alright, gonna give myself 8 more minutes, and if not, we're just gonna call it. No edit cut. They'll basically pick up fighting her next time if basically we don't have her by then. Drink. Summon. Stay still to hopefully... There we There we go. There we go. Dang it. Definitely keep falling for that one, where basically she jumps into the air. It's like a reverse Black Knife ability, where the Black Knife can juke enemies by jumping in the air before the ability. Oh boy, okay. I just gotta be a bit careful. Like, when I see her do that, I need to, like, figure something out. It's like, I don't know what the plan is, because if I'm at that close of range, there's not really much running away from the blade storm of hers, but... There we go. Yeah, not great. Didn't even notice it with that. Yeah, I think the blowflies are a bit better. That said, in general, trying to think of a good way to avoid just the instant death. Like, just like bias how much more closer time we can get. Kinda don't want to give up the incantation one. I do wonder what's worth more, the health or the defense. I mean, this is our natural health, so best kind of to get used to it, I think. And then back to Swarm of Flies. Oh, wrong one. You know, Black Knife, I really thought you were going to do your special there, but yeah, you just decided not to. Yeah, I saw that. All right, 3. Not too happy with life on Black Knife right now. Yeah, just her ping-ponging on health constantly. Quite sure what attack that was. But until she turns her attention back to me, flies it shall be. Black Knife their attention, sadly. He's a bit more beat up than I would like to be at this juncture. Ah, crap. There we go. Ooh, nice. Wait, she has it in this mode too? Black Knife, please live. Trying to deny her the lifesteal on that, but oh, I was still alive. I heard the death sound and I didn't realize that was poor Black Knife. Because I thought it was me. Alright, we can do one more, which, you know, not likely to succeed, but... And yep, our runes are inside, since basically we transitioned into phase 2. Alright, ring-a-ding. Boom. Alright, one swarm of flies to act as a blessed distraction while I run over here and grab. Try to pin her as best we can. Attack, start running. Should be enough to start getting the attention on me. Yep. Uh-oh. Okay, good. I thought that was going to be a lunge forward in my direction. Okay, good. I wish there was some way to make blood loss even, like, build faster. There might be an armor for that. There we go. Ah, crap. Poor Black Knife. Black Knife, don't die and don't feed. Don't like that. Oof. Good.
Your strength.
Oof.
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord.
Malenia's great rune and remembrance of the rock goddess.
Dear Miquella. Oh, dearest Miquella. My brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
Oof, 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 oof. Coming off that adrenaline high, it's just like, oh, my old heart. Especially just fighting the greed to be greedy when she was like a sliver of health. I'm like, the moment I do, she's going to counterattack and immediately end it. It's just like, stick to the flies. Well, I think that basically a swarm of flies has definitely earned itself a spot in my repertoire. Now the big question is, so if we rest here, will our friend be back? Like, be around here, maybe. Ooh, okay. First, okay, int arcane that. There we go. Now that we got those at 20, we can start putting stuff back into vigor, might, and endurance. Friend, are you here? There's a flower here. Are you the flower? I mean, she should be over here then. I know we're a bit over on time, but I want a conclusion to this story here.
There is something I must return to Malenia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self. That allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot.
I mean, she's dead now.
There is something the will that the dignity.
I mean, do I go back to the old man? Alright, back to Malenia, goddess of rot. Huh. I mean, hopefully that still counts as Malenia in terms of, returning what is once hers. I mean, very confused.
There is something the will, the dignity.
Huh. Alright. I mean, what if we go back to Sage Gower? Does he know what's up? Will he actually acknowledge that we kind of, took down Malenia? There we go. It's like I heard the horse whistle and I saw no horse. Alright. Sage Gowry, I have more questions about the rot. And I'm also more than willing to learn if you have any more rot incantations. Glad that dog never comes.
Ah, welcome, welcome. How may I help?
Oopsie.
Do you...
Alright. How very strange. But we have been at this longer than we should have today, so let's go ahead and wrap things up here. So we want to read basically the things first. Remembrance of the Rot Goddess. Remembrance of Malenia, Goddess of Rot, hewn into the Erdtree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of ruins. I'm trying to think what she called him. Miquella? Miquella and Malenia are both children of a single god. As such, they are both Imperiums, but suffered afflictions from birth. One was cursed with eternal childhood, and the other harbored rot within. And then Malenia's Great Rune. The Great Rune of the Shardbearer Malenia, devoid of any benediction. Seek the isolated divine tower, which stands beyond the Lost Great Bridge. The isolated... beyond the Lost Great Bridge. So is that the one that's over in No Man's Land? Oh, and then the Haligtree Knight Armor. Armor worn by knights sworn to the Haligtree. Its left breast is emblazoned with the crest of the Haligtree. Though watered with Miquella's own blood since it was a sapling, the Haligtree ultimately failed to grow into an Erdtree. Even more interesting implications there. Also, do we keep any of these on? I'm thinking not necessarily. I do think we go back to that for enhances charge spells and skills, and where is my... Here we go. Yeah, that should work. And yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up here for today. Kinda doesn't feel right to be ending it not next to a site of grace, but it should be fine. And yeah, trying to think if there's any more shard bearers that we know of. I mean, there's Randy's shard still that we know that Gideon's in possession of. I feel like things are going to come to a head with him at some point, but I feel like from here on out, well, there's a few more things I want to check out in the snowfields and the Haligtree, but then after that, we're going to go tackle the DLC. Which certainly, you know, can't be any harder than what we just did, right? Right? I mean, hey, I didn't need to edit cut. I was very happy about that. No edit cut needed. But alright, all that stuff and more next time. So, until then, later.